So I just had a little sound issue there. Alright, so we're ready to rock. So what we're going to have a look at today is the ability for you to be able to create a portfolio of work and then display that work in a format that, and for your kids of course, we're talking here, and then to display that work in a format that you will want to be able to assess as a teacher or they'll be able to utilize. So it's very simple. It's, as I said earlier, it's called the media book, and let me give you a quick look at how that media book is created. So it all revolves around three different things. The first thing is the video file itself. So you can see here we've got video of a young fella who's bowling a cricket ball. Now, so that's step one. Step two is that we then want the students to identify key things that are happening in this action. And if you watch my mouse, I'm just taking the video forwards and backwards by clicking on this Frame Advance tool. Okay? So that's where we're at the moment. Now, you'll see down here that I've already created some things called, or the students already created some things called key positions. And what we're really talking about here are key teaching points or key teaching positions. So the process of that to occur, and I'm going to, I'll get rid of these ones that are already there. The process for that to occur is that we take the student to a point that's important. So let's say we wanted to get, I'll just say in here, and we want to call that position run up. I click on this big tab over here called Add Key Position. You'll notice that once I click on there, I get a little image in here. I label that image. So let's just call that, for argument's sake, run up. The student notes about the run up go into this little part of the program there, and I'll show you how this all comes together later on. So there's our first thing. If I wanted to add comments as a student, oral comments, I could do that by clicking this record button. So I press the record button. Everything that I now say is being picked up by the program and will be available later on. We'll look at that. Let's advance forward to another point on the video. So let's say we want to have a look at, we might do right foot takeoff, say for example. Let's go to this point here. So that left foot takeoff there. Again, I add the key position. I put a label in there, so let's call that takeoff. Student notes. And again, if you wanted to, you'd be able to add an oral comment. We won't do that for the minute. Let's just scoot our kid forward a little bit more, and we'll go right to the point of delivery just here. We'll add one more. We'll call that delivery. Try not to have the old capital E in there. Call that delivery, and again, notes about delivery in here. Now this is where it gets interesting and it's really easy to utilize. So I've had the video point one. I've created points of interest or key teaching points or assessment questions that I wanted answered point two, and then I simply create my media book by clicking on this little tab here called the storyboard. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to say to Dartfish, I want to create a media book. I click onto this button and then I just follow a wizard. And so you can save your actual media book to a whole range of locations, CDs, DVDs. You can send them directly via email. I'm going to put it on my computer, so I'll select computer and next. There's 4 videos I've been playing around with this morning. I'm going to clear them all and just select the one that we've been using, so the one of the kid bowling the cricket ball. Click next. And I'm just following the wizard. So the file name, so let's just call this Media Book Practice, and that's the actual name it will be called on my computer. The title is a little different. That's the title that will appear on the portfolio. So I'm just going to call this one Portfolio Example. The website address, and you can put a website in there. You can put a logo in there if you want to. So let me show you how you can jazz some of these up. It's really neat. We'll put a logo. Let's put the logo of this kid here throwing the ball. So I double click on that and that logo will appear. And then again, I just go down here to next. So we click on next. I just follow the wizard, keep clicking next. I'm going to save this file onto my desktop. So I click next again. And Dartfish is now creating this wonderful little portfolio that as a student I would be able to utilize and as an assessment task that I'd be able to send through to my teacher. And let me show you this. And the thing I love about this media book is that it has the video, the words, the logo, the whole lot all packaged up. So here it is. Let's just expand it out a little bit and let me show you what's occurred. First of all, portfolio example was the title that we gave the media book itself. In here, in this particular part of the program, I've got the video. So here's Brett buying a cricket ball, the video that we had earlier. Down here, I've got the key positions. So you see here key positions, and remember that we titled them run up, take off, delivery. Look at what happens when I click on each key position, run up. And you'll see the comments that the student made are here. If I click on this little box, the oral comment is also here. Now, you guys at home may not hear that oral comment because we're here over the internet, but trust me that it's actually playing. It's playing here at my end. Then I've got this takeoff, and again, it goes to that point in the video, and then the notes created about that point in the action appear here. So that's how you can get your students to create a little portfolio of work. You can put multiple videos in there. You don't just have to have the one. The last thing I want to show you, if you then go to slideshow view, you'll notice here there are the 3 points. If I now click on print, Dartfish will instantly open up an A4 printable page with the 3 key positions, their title and the descriptive notes, and if I select print, it'll instantly print those out, and if you wanted, your students could just put those through for you as their assessment task. Nice and easy, very simple to be able to create these media books. I think they're just a great little portfolio for phys ed teachers to be able to utilise. And I wanted to share that with you today. So we're done within 10 minutes. I'll open it up if you've got any questions at all. So again, the question box that you'll see there on your screen, feel free to shoot some questions out for me and I'm happy to answer those for you right now.